Hello all, Dr. Fox back here with you. I thought I'd take a few minutes, I kind of like those rainy, quiet mornings. And I thought it was fitting that I'm in my little robe from shameless plug. Where is it? Oh, it's on the arm, I think. Yeah, the Spiegel Center. Oh, there it is. I was so out of it. Well, first off, I feel like, one of those early mornings where, like, when you'd be in a robe and they're getting ready to do your makeup, and I did a little bit of makeup before this, just to tidy up some of the imperfectional scars that are starting to show a bit. I'm trying to find some scar reducer, but I'm not willing to spend like $300 to $500 for it. There was some great stuff I got in the Portland Surgery Center. I think it was for like 60 or 80 bucks back then. That was like 4 years ago, so obviously it would have probably gone up a bit since then, but it was just too pricey. So anyway, it kind of felt like when I was doing film and television back in the day, where like they got you up really early and you're sitting in the barber chair, if you will, and you got your robe on and they're doing makeup and stuff. So I was kind of tidying up a little bit before I sat down, and it's kind of like I said, the rain is just stopping, and it's kind of a peaceful morning. Mora's laying right here next to me, and I was thinking about it. I finally had time to edit the pre-op surgery leading up to the surgery one, and I was so happy I was finally able to get iMovie to work the last couple of days, especially for the PSA that I did, and then for this particular video. And I wanted to take a little time because I was so out of it that I think the only video footage I got was me eating like a little apple, some of that applesauce. I was in so much agony, and I think I shared that over on Instagram. I'm not sure. So I'll try to integrate that video so that while this video is basically talking about post-op, I have one more surgery coming up. If any of you watch my weekend update, I mentioned a little bit. Sorry, I'm like trying to move my glasses because I'm like getting this like light glare. See, like right there. And I know that the blue light up here, I've got the blue light, and then the full white light up above. And you can see my beautiful movie curtains behind me just for that theme. And then some of my movie posters behind. I just thought I thought this was a good place. I got it on my phone stand to spend a little time with you. I was so out of it. I was like my grandmother, because when she used to come over and she'd rock in our chair while she'd hang out during like a holiday, and we're talking to her, and she's very intently listening. She's not sleeping. She's got her eyes closed like this, and she's just nodding and listening to the story and taking it all in. And that's kind of how I felt when I don't even really remember. I was so out of it when they put me out. I was pretty much, they had me do, like, I thought I'd be doing the backwards talk technique, and we just talked about 80s, and then they laid me down and started putting like the pillows under my legs and all that for the surgery. And then next thing I know, and they were like, Alexa, I don't know, or sorry if I've activated somebody, if you've got this turned up listening to it, but they asked to play some 80s. And it was really nice, and it just started. I was like, oh, I love the 80s. And then I think I pretty much faded after that, and then I blinked, and then all I remember was this wonderful gentleman. I forgot his name now. He was really a sweet guy. And he was telling me a bunch of stuff after, and I'm just sitting and my eyes closed because my eyes hurt. And even though I'm all, drugged up at that point, I was just sort of nodding, like, uh-huh. And I guess he supposedly tried to dress me. I think they left me in my ropes. I don't know. I don't even remember when I got back. But all I remember is I have my eyes closed, and the next thing I know, I'm being wheeled to the car, and then I think I had to try to get my eyes open a tiny bit to feel my way into the passenger seat. And then he said some more stuff. They closed the door. I think he came around and talked to my brother a couple of minutes. My brother's really good pre and post-op for the first couple of days. And he was really sweet and really patient. and I appreciate that. That's what I need from somebody. And excuse me, sorry. I had my cup of tea. I would have preferred, like, I would love to get on and just do these morning ones, like, you know, enjoy a cup of tea with you or whatever. And like I did a while back, I used to get so many likes when I'm showing, like, I think I had a little double Dutch chocolate muffin or something, and some of my banana and some of the grapes and my tea, and they really liked that photo. And to get on and just kind of chat with you all for a little bit about this whole thing, just trying to kind of give you a layout. And then all I remember is trying to slowly make my way. I remember I was kind of clouded, and my brother kind of helped guide me, because I wasn't in a wheelchair. I had to literally get up, and I felt kind of woo, but I took it really slow, and I held his arm, and I kind of just shuffled my way into the inn. And we stayed at the inn at Arsenal. I had checked through like booking.com, Priceline, you know, like the Priceline commercial, you know. I feel like Kaylee. Hey, Kaylee, go. What's up, girl? Because she usually spends her mornings with doing a cup of coffee talking to y'all. But I kind of miss that, or just the crew, you know, working on some of the shows and the films and different projects and things like that. So I kind of felt like that coming in, and then normally we wear a mask, but I didn't have my mask, but I couldn't, nothing. I was all bandaged up. You'll see it. I'm gonna try to integrate that video here in a few minutes, and I literally looked like someone that had like this major toothache and a bandage really, really bad. I had this big bandage around my head, and then I had a bandage around my scalp, and then I had this big nose brace coming in, and I was just like shuffling along. And I'm like, and I remember talking to the guy when I checked out of the hotel or motel, whatever. I forget how they define the two. I'm trying to remember how to say that. And I remember it. Anyway, it's more frivolous now, but I was leaving, and I was like, I don't know did I see you that morning when I walked through? And he's like, yeah. He goes, you look like you were in so much pain. I was like, yeah. I was like, so it looks like you recovered pretty well. I was like, yeah, you know, because we had to check out that morning before we went back to post-op. And I think that's when I got my photo with Dr. Spiegel. I would have preferred to have gotten it the day before in pre-op, when I still looked okay, because when I got done, like, everything was inflamed, and I looked like it was terrible. Like, I was within 24 hours.
It was actually a week after.
And like everything was lifted, and it was just, it just didn't look right. I was like, oh no, like, am I gonna? And I knew it wasn't gonna. I knew once it kind of settled, I'd be a lot better off. But it's just what it felt like. And I knew it would come in time. I was trying to be extremely patient. A lot of people aren't that patient, and I didn't want to ask for a while. And I did want to ask about the details about the surgeries, but I didn't want to hear it before, because there was a point before that morning of surgery when I went in there. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But I went into the surgery, and we're going through the morning routine. I'm also talking about it now. I just told him, I was like, I don't want to see someone else have to suffer with this, and I don't know what the situation was. Crisis was averted, and I did bring it up to him, but I was trying to tell him when I was in the next morning during post-op, and they're like tearing out my staples. And I had taken a pain pill an hour earlier, and I was trying to tell him about what this situation was. So then we backtrack up to the morning of surgery, and oh my gosh, the lady was really sweet and nice. She got me poked. I had really good veins. It wasn't like I didn't have bad veins. I think he had kind of passed it off in that, and then I clarified it the next day. And I was like, no, I want to make sure that no one has to go through that. I said, because aside from that, I said, everything, it was a good experience. I said, I just hate to see it. It was kind of a rough start to my morning. I was a little weary about it. And I hate to see someone else have to go through that. And so they got the needle in, and then she taped it up, had the tubing on it. I had my IV. And then one of the surgeons came in, and she was like, I don't like that tubing. So they start tearing it off, and they're trying to be careful. At least that's what it felt like. I know they were trying to be careful, but then of course it starts moving around, stabbing everything internally, and I'm already having a little PTSD from a moment like that, from some other stuff in my past. And finally they get the proper one, they get it all cleaned up, and crisis is averted, but oh, that was so painful. Oh, and they were trying to get the fluids in me, and I kept trying to go to the bathroom and a couple of times, and I just couldn't, because I knew I'd be out for about 5.5, 6 hours. And I think that was the only negative part of the experience. Other than that, like I said, they were all really, really nice and very patient, and you know, they did what they had to do, and but they did it, you know. I think they did it with good compassion. That one thing, aside from that, but I, you know, overall, if we can look past that, I had a pretty decent experience going through that. I'm still healing, but it'd been so exhausting. I was trying to find a time when I could just kind of sit with you all and kind of spend some time with you on my post-op. And so then we had that experience, and then, like I said, we now fast forward, and we're at the room again now at the inn, and I'll show you that footage.
I don't think I'll let you arrest us today, Rihan.
And so, as you saw there, I had one of the folks I was talking to, she was like, oh, you look like you're in so much agony. I was like, yeah, I was, because by that point, I think when I was eating that, it was almost midnight, wasn't it? Something like that, or really late. Or maybe it was around 5, 6 p.m. I can't remember. But I think I was trying to eat something, and I wanted to get something in me, because I hadn't eaten all day. You're not supposed to eat and drink that whole day, so I don't think I had anything until, I was trying to drink one of the proteins. It's like it was going everywhere, and I'm trying to and I'm trying never to bend over, because I didn't want the blood to, oh my gosh, when he finally took I'll get to that in a minute, but when he took the nose brace off, wow, that was filled with so much blood. Not to be too TMI, but I'll get to that soon. But I was trying to take that, as you just saw. Sorry, I'm just trying to process through this whole thing. And I was trying to think what else. I'm just trying to go over. I was trying to put all my little notes together. I was going over their whole routine before I got on with you all, so that I was a little flabbergasted from the whole thing. I've still got, it's very sore. I woke up, and there's I feel like there's this big chunk of my gum sticking out. I think, right there. Yeah, it feels like a bump of cancer. It's not. It's I think that's where he had threaded stitches. That's what I was trying to say the other day. They used the stitches. He did it all internal, very microscopically. They did it inside the nose. Oh, I had these stitches all over. It was horrible. And then, like I mentioned the other day, little pieces are finally starting to come out, and I've got, I think, one kind of hanging there. I'm like, I just want to, so I think that was about it. And I was just, I know as the pain was wearing off, I was in a lot of agony that evening. And I finally made it through the night. And I think it was about midnight when I was finally allowed to take my first oxy. And thanks to another nurse of mine, they didn't tell you this, but you can add, it's like adding fuel to the fire. You can add a Tylenol or two. Up to, I think it was 1,000 milligrams. So I did 500. I didn't want to overdo it. So I did it with one, and it really kicked in. And I didn't know this. I could have taken also one of my, they look like big round, like horse pills almost. They weren't gelled. But they help you heal really fast. And antibiotic, I think it was starts with an A. Okay, so there was oxycodone, and then there was I should have brought him over to show you. I know I thought I did another video on that, or showed, yeah, I do have another video earlier showing the prescriptions I had. But anyway, I'll put the link in the description, but I don't think I was able to cut up that video. So, yeah, then we get through the night, and then we had to get up. Not quite so early the next day. Thankfully, we got up. I was able to. We were really good. He packed everything up pretty well. I even had a little strength to get up, and finally, by I think late that night, when I got up, I said, "Oh, look at that! I can start to kind of work my way slowly to the bathroom on my own." Yippee! Or the next morning, I think it was. And I had a little strength to at least just put a few of the items away. You weren't supposed to lift anything like 5 or 10 pounds. And thankfully, he took my luggage. And like I said, the second time I came down, I learned very quickly I only needed like 2 little bags. I didn't even bring my laptop the second time. But so we got all checked out and dropped off the little tags, and we drove over, and we got there, and I went in, sat down, and I said good morning, and boy, it felt good. He took that big nose brace off. He unwrapped me. There was another woman there with her too, and they came in. They said, we're going to double team it. So we started taking out all the staples while she was clipping away, and it hurt. And like I said, I had taken a pain pill like an hour earlier, but it still didn't help. I wanted to take about an hour early so that it was kicking in by that point when I got there, but it wasn't. So it's taken out, and that's when I was telling him that was my only concern about getting poked, and then they had to switch out the tubing. And boy, I'll tell you, speaking of that, getting fed that IV, wow, I had to pee so many times for the next like 24 to 48 hours, I had to go so bad and so often, because there's a lot of, they're putting fluids and things in you because you can't eat and whatnot. And speaking of that, so right here, so we got back on the road after that, and thankfully that was only like a few minutes, and then he re-put the bandage on me. I don't remember if he did the scalp one too. I think he just did that one. So that's when I got my photograph with him. But like I said, it looked, oh my gosh, I was like, or something. I didn't look very good in that photograph. I looked terrible. He looked great. But they were really nice. I didn't see Eleanor that morning. I had emailed her. I don't know if she was just busy or what. She didn't respond or tell me why. That's fine. That's frivolous anyway. But we worked out the details, and I wish I had told them that day or weeks prior when they had suggested look who's coming. Hello, love bug. Yes, my love. Yes. Yeah. Kisses. Gonna queen? Yeah, it's bad time for more. Oh, sorry. Oh, the camera's on that side. I forget the lens is over there. If I can show you guys real quick. She's over here cleaning. Queen. Mommy's cleaning. So, I was excited to finally make it home, but we had done a detour. I really wanted to come home, but I was trying to be so sweet. My brother's other half was having a rough time, so we ended up heading to Lewiston. We got to 202, but I didn't realize that I had my eyes closed, and I was just trying to rest for the trip back. And I guess he had got the other direction on 202, so we kind of went way out of our way, and there were signs for like North Conway. We're almost back to North Conway. I was like, yikes. So we got turned around, finally made it to Lewiston, did what he had to do. I actually, by that point, the night before, my brother had ordered some pizza, and I was like, you know what? They said I'm allowed to try it. I know, like, some people say don't want to eat for a couple of weeks, but yet they said it's okay to try a little something of softness. And the pizza was a little soft. It wasn't like, it wasn't, you can't do anything spicy or sour or anything like that. But so I took like little tiny bites and I just kind of, I could barely move. I couldn't even open my jaw very far. And I was like that. Now I can, that's about far as I can get it open. I'm sure they're going to use a GIF or something like that, right? GIF, I don't know. Anyway. So I had tried little bites, but I could barely chew anything at that point. Heck, I still couldn't even chew my my multivitamins for days without it hurting. So I would sort of break them in half and just kind of go up, and try to work them down in. But I made it, and I was mostly doing those protein shakes. I could have saved a ton of money if I known I could have gotten some ordered from the VA sooner, Togus Veterans Administration. I didn't know it until after. And he sent me this whole huge box of strawberry. You can get strawberry, chocolate, or vanilla. Anyway, I had bought some strawberries, some vanillas, and some chocolate protein shakes. And then I had apple sauces. I did unsweetened. I didn't want to do anything too sugary. I had some smoothies, but to be honest, they were frozen smoothies, and I never had them. There's a couple of large smoothie drink, like there was like the Green Machine or whatever that one's called. It looks like a green smoothie drink. And I had a little cup of that after about, I think it was 5 or 6 days when I was recovering. And so we had ordered Little Caesars to now back up to Lewiston. And they bought that funny looking calzone thing. Usually I don't want Caesars because it's really greasy, but I really wanted to have a little something. So we made it home. Bill had his leftover pizza. I tried to have a little bit of one, and I cut it all up into little tiny pieces, and I could eat a little bit on my jaw side over here. And then other than that, I was like, oh, that's really tough. So I would brush immediately after. And then I gargle with hydrogen peroxide. And I watched his... Dr. Spiegel had these little videos that you would, like, day 1, day 2, and they had pre-op, post-op. I think it was a pre-op one. Might have been just post-op, but it was the post-ops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up till day 7, when you then come in to see them, usually on day 7 or 8. And that's when I had that stuff removed. So I was watching those daily, and I was taking my Oxy with the Tylenol. And I was pretty much just drinking protein shakes and applesauce, pretty much. And I didn't even go back on my hormone therapy yet, because I was told it can cause extra bleeding if they're going to do the hair, So I wanted a little time to think about it. My brain was just in, like, survival and recovery mode at that point. So I didn't even think about it. And like I said, what I was leading up to earlier was I wish I had been able to tell them, just, let's just not do the hair thing for a little while. Or leave it out a month first. Because I meant to tell them Friday evening, but it was too late by the time I emailed them. And then I sent an email Sunday night, because I was like, well, they won't get this till Monday morning. And there's only like 2 days before the procedure. I didn't want to be that person, I'd cause some issue. She never told me why. I don't know if the lady was there that morning. I asked, but I never got a response. I have no idea if it was okay, or if the other one had something else they filled in on doing or was going to do. And we ended up finally, at least, I gave it another, half day or so. And, I was like, hopefully, thankfully she did tell me that she did get a hold of them. And we got it to be determined, but I don't know. I just hope I didn't upset somebody. And it wasn't last minute. I know you're allowed within 24 to 48 hours. I just didn't want to cause a lot of turmoil or issue with that. And I wasn't trying to be some last minute person. That's why I was trying to let them know as soon as I could. Trust me, I would have let them know that week prior if I had known. But you don't know what these outcomes are going to be with their experience, And I don't know. She seemed upset. I wasn't trying to upset anybody. And we got that figured out anyway. And then so I gave that about a week. And I was like, well, to be honest, I was like, I mean, I can kind of see it now a little bit more. See, you can start to see some of my alopecia again. But I'm trying to wait for this big scar to heal. And I had spent all that money, and right now I'm pretty strapped. So, but the voice, part 2 of the voice is needing to be done ASAP. So as soon as you can, but you can't do it till 2 months after you recover. So that puts us out to like the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, aka Black Friday, and the day after Cyber Monday. So, and then after that, I won't be allowed to speak for like 3 weeks, and they're going to do a video follow-up with me on week 4. So I won't be, but I should be able to still have my turkey dinner that I'll be, I hope, cooking here. I hope. Once I'm going to focus on recovery, and I'm focusing on just been getting ready for Halloween. I got all the candies all picked up. I'll have to throw a post up on Instagram. I got all the candies ready to go, and I know a friend of mine, they're like, oh gosh, I couldn't get mine that early. I'd have them all eaten by then. I don't eat a lot of candy anymore. And to be honest, every once in a while when I do have a little one, my migraine like acts up a bit. I've had to move to cocoa, 72% or higher. And I think I do a 76, sometimes an 82 or an 80, and then a 92. I don't usually do the 92. That's a lot of cocoa. But I think it's sugar-free. I have a few like gluten-free gummy bears too that just came in that gives me a little something to enjoy once in a while. I put a few of those in my yogurt. To be honest, my Greek yogurt, I'm trying to eat that up and then just start on the protein shakes in the afternoon. I'm not allowed to work out until I think this next week. I think it was 4 weeks. Well, some say 3, some say 4 weeks. But I've been doing these like little bench exercises here. I'm going to try to show you okay, when I moved the camera, I guess I accidentally stopped the video. I don't know what happened. So I plugged in there the applesauce one. I couldn't plug it in earlier. And basically, I'll do these little like bend ones like right here, and I'll do like 10 of those, and then I'll do these over the arm ones with these 5-pound weights, and I'll do like 2 of them like this, and I'll do 10 of those. I usually do my other more intense workouts, but like I said, you can't do anything intense for a while. And and then on my treadmill, I started out doing about 10 to, what was it, about 10 minutes. And normally I was doing like 2 miles an hour for a half hour, and when I came back, I think within the first few days I was already up, because like he said on the video, and just as a doctor, you want to try to get up and be walking around. You don't want to be sitting here. It actually helps your body heal better. So I get up and I wanted to get some walking. I didn't want to just go out and walk. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I wanted a brace to hold me, so I did it very slow, and I think I'd worked up to maybe a mile for the speed, and I did that for about 10 minutes. Yeah, I slowly built up, and then I went to, I think, 15 minutes at a mile. And then I did a 1.5 miles for speed up to 15 minutes. And then I pretty much stayed on the 15-minute mark for those 4 days for like the first week. And I think by that Saturday, I had finally accomplished to get it back up to 2 miles an hour. And I tried to do a half hour, but I think I only made it to like 20 minutes. And I was like, whew, this is, well, I knew that once that kicked in, I was going to have to take it easy. So I did that, and then eventually I got back up to doing my whole half hour, and I'm doing it at full, 2 miles an hour again, and it feels good. And I got my little fan on me, and then I'll clean up after. So I think I'm going to kind of wrap it up. That at least kind of puts you through the process for me for my post-op and how the recovery went. And I'll splice these all together, and I'll get this uploaded, and hope you enjoyed our little ketchup and mustard french fry. And remember to take 2 things, call me in the morning, and once again, we will see you later. before I let you go, let's see if I can get Miss Mora here. Hey, Mipper. Look, honey. Baby. I don't know if you guys could see that in the